So there's various things you have to consider as far as security threats. Security is steps that a computer user takes to protect their data, to protect their system from unauthorized users and external damage, from corruption of files, from storage corruption, from theft of files, theft of data. So you've got a variety of different threats that your computer can be accessed to. Malware, viruses, and spyware. Now, malware is not necessarily a virus. It's not going to necessarily kill your computer, but it can strongly affect your ability of your computer to actually accomplish things. Malware's pop-up windows show up that you don't want them to, things like that that you can't stop. Viruses are definitely intended to harm your software, to tamper with files, to destruct files, to erase your hard drive, to damage content on your computer. It's recommended that you have an antivirus software on your computer, end of story, period. If you're working and sharing files with another person, you're a negligent computer user if you don't have antivirus software on your computer. You're taking a chance of your data and also the person you're connecting with of contaminating their data, and that's just not responsible computer use. And then spyware. Spyware is a new type of malware, virus type software that they can actually install on a computer, and it will log your keystrokes or burrow into your computer hard drive to find personal information, social security numbers, bank numbers, things like that, and it'll send it back to the person that created it over the network, over a network. And anti-spyware or antivirus software also should be set up to detect spyware when it comes in from an external location and actually be able to delete it for you. So, in order to protect your computer from other computers and from malware, viruses, and spyware, you need to set up a firewall. If you've got a home network, a firewall protects other computers on the internet from accessing your computer and contaminating your data or stealing data off your computer. It's always important to have your firewall up on a network. It can be either hardware or software. There's hardware firewalls. They may not exist as much as they used to. They used to actually have a module you could plug into your router to actually create a quote-unquote hardware firewall. But now it's actually built into routers. It's actually built into operating system software. The firewall is basically a click-on choice, turn on or turn off your firewall. And this firewall will actually track all your incoming, outgoing traffic to make sure that any contact with your computer is legitimate and not a threat. So you've got other security threats to take a look at. You've got spoof sites, sites that look like other sites. There used to be a real problem on the internet, starting with mistyped addresses. When I was teaching a 7th and 8th grade class on computers, if you typed the word Yahoo in wrong, it would go to a site that you definitely didn't want 7th and 8th graders to see, inappropriate materials, and that was a spoof site. Phishing, it's the type of communication where someone sends you an email or a file that they want you to click on a link, and then that'll give them access to your computer or lead you to a spoof site that actually allows them to ask you contact information, personal information that you shouldn't be sharing with someone if you're not sure of who they are. Farming is a way for a person to break into a server and then redirect people who come to that server to another location. There was a big denial of service a few years ago for a company where you would go to the company's website, and the way it was set up was when you went to their website, you automatically got rerouted to somewhere else, and that denial of service actually slowed down and stopped business transactions for a company for several hours. Sometimes this can last up to days, and it's definitely a problem that tampers with businesses and their productivity. So you want to protect your information with passwords. You want to have a secure password for logging in, logging on. You want something that's not a word. One of the people that have taught me about network protection and passwords and things like that was they recommend, if you have your computer in a room where you have a bookshelf on the wall, maybe take the first 8 books that are on the shelf. And you might have The Tale of Two Cities and To Kill a Mockingbird. So you might start your password with TT, and then the next book might be Atlas Shrugged, so you'd have an A. and you'd have those letters that would be in your password. It's really good to have at least 8 characters, and prefer you to have a number, upper lowercase letters. Some softwares require you to have specific variations as far as capital letters, numbers, and things like that. So you have to make sure when you're setting up a password that you fit the company or the software's configuration of what they expect for you to have for your password, because if you don't follow their guidelines, they won't accept your password as you create it. So it's definitely something that passwords are a pain. There's no denying that. Passwords are getting to be more of a pain every day because we have so many passwords to keep track of, and it's really tough. Storing your passwords for security, that's another issue that we'll talk about some other time. So you understand system software, the software that makes your computer run. You've got 4 types of system software, and this is the last, I think this is close to the last topics in the discussion today. You've got operating systems. That's the software that makes your computer run. That's what tells your computer it's a Windows machine or a Mac machine. The operating system, or a Chromebook, it's what makes your computer run. It's the kind of software that makes it be a computer. You've got your software utilities and device drivers that actually tell the computer how to do specific things, and how the video card should run, or how the sound card should run, or how your microphone should interact with the computer. And then you have programming languages, which are things such as Office 2013, which tells the computer how to write letters, how to handle spreadsheets, and how to create presentations such as this. So operating systems allocate system resources. They control the input and output of the computers, the communication that actually goes between the user and the computer. It manages files, it manages computer hardware to make sure it keeps running, and the vision that you see on your monitor when you're looking at your computer is called the graphical user interface, and it's the liaison between the user and the computer. It's basically your graphical image of what you're doing with your computer. So utility software helps to analyze, optimize, configure, and maintain your computer. It keeps it running and running well. The device drivers handle the communication between peripherals and other devices that you may add to your computer to make sure that they're communicating properly so they'll do what you want them to do. And like I said, programming languages are basically written by a programmer to have a computer do specific things, follow specific computer instructions. Okay, application software such as Office 2013 allows you to perform specific computer tasks. Document production software such as Word, you've got spreadsheet software such as Excel. It all allows you to do specific things with your computer. You've got database management software such as Access. There's a lot of database management software out there. But a database is basically an organization of fields and records that allow you to organize data as you gather everything from addresses, sales. One of the biggest databases I deal with at work is a database that handles our library collection, which is hundreds of thousands of items. That's basically a big database. And the database has a record per cell, and that how it's sorted and how it's accessed is the programming language that's used to access that material. So there's also presentation software we're going to look at in Microsoft Office. We're going to look at PowerPoint. There's other presentation software, Prezi, SlideShare. There's several other ones online. You've got multimedia authoring software that allows you to record videos and audio, such as Camtasia that I'm using to record my record my lectures. Information management software that will keep track of schedules, appointments, contacts. You've got email softwares and information management software, such as Outlook. And then you have website creation and management software that allows you to access websites and manipulate them. You've got Dreamweaver. There used to be Microsoft Front Page, Adobe Go Live. There's a lot of different softwares that you can use to manipulate web pages. And I think we've gotten to the end of the presentation for today. I'm hoping this is the longest lecture of the semester. Do pay attention to some of the key terms as far as peripherals, as far as a few of the ports, things like that, because those will probably be on the quiz that we'll have at the end of this section. So until we talk about file management, I'll talk to you soon.